Hi everyone, Leanne here from Jaded Blossom, and I have a fun gummy bear card to share with you today. Hey, so I am using Jaded Blossom's Beary Sweet stamp set, along with Doodlebug's Dot Stripe, Gingham Linen, and I'm also using their floral graph. So I went ahead and I stamped these bears in VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink onto these papers, and then I cut them out on the line and edged around them with a Memento Tuxedo black marker. You know, just coloring in the edge so it looks like it's, cut out more perfectly. And this is a paper tray ink white A2 size card base, so 4.25 by 11, scored at 5.5 inches. And I'm just going to stamp the two bears, because I'll be doing paper piecing, how I'd like them to be on the front of the card. So they're just going to be kind of overlapping. And that way, when you stick them down, the black line will kind of correct any, boo-boos with cutting out. Now I'm pulling out Distress Oxide ink in Picked Raspberry, and I'm going to use the littlest spare, and I'm going to stamp an all-over background using it. So I left this mistake in because I wanted you to see that I make mistakes too. So I'm just making my own background. So you'll see what I do to fix this, but I'm making a big boo-boo here. I'm stamping on some fun foam. And that just allows a little bit more give. I didn't want to use my Misty because, when you're kind of stamping willy-nilly like this, a Misty doesn't make it easier. Although a Misty would have prevented the mistake that I make in a little bit. But, we learn these things, right? So I'm just stamping this gummy bear all over the place. Remember that the black outline bears will be filled in with those pink patterns. So I'm stamping over them. That doesn't bother me. And I'm just trying to change the direction and cover this whole piece of paper up. But you live, you learn, and you'll see my boo-boo here. What I did is I didn't really get a great stamped image on the upper or sort of mid-right side of this card. And so I tried to line it up by eyeballing it and restamping it. And people don't do it. You're not going to be able to line it up. And then, of course, it ended up making the lines of the bear too thick because I just wasn't perfect. So I scrapped this one and I restamp it. There we go. So that was a willy-nilly background. And here I'm going to try to restamp it. Or I didn't even show you it, but suffice it to say I messed up. So I'm going to restamp the background, and I decided to start with the bears. And I just kind of keep them more straight, if you know what I mean. I change the orientation. Sometimes they're, going, up and down. Sometimes they're side to side, but they're all kind of at 90-degree angles to each other, if you know what I mean. So I try to keep things nice and straight. And I just think it just looks better. So I'm just finishing up on this card front, and I'm just stamping on the back of my mistake. I cut the front of the card off. And I'm just stamping on the back of it because there's always two sides to every sheet of paper. You don't have to waste it. And the nice thing is paper tray ink white cardstock is super thick, right? So it's not going to show through. So there it is. See, and there's my boo-boo side. There you go. Now I'm going to go ahead and take those same two stamps, the large one and the small one, and I will stamp them in VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. And I'm going to stamp them in the orientation that I would like them on my card front. So they're going to overlap just like I thought I would do. There you have it. So, just easy stuff. Now I'm pulling out our stitched rectangle dies and our scalloped rectangle dies. And I'm going to cut this background out. This one is a 3 1/4 inch by 4.5 inch die. And then I cut paper tray ink black cardstock out with the scalloped rectangle die. That's the 3 3/4 by 5 inch. So first I'm going to add this floral graph background. It's 1/8 of an inch smaller than an A2 size card base. That's a paper tray ink black card base, 4.25 by 11, scored at 5.5 inches. Now I'm going to add on my layer. So this white layer, remember I said it's 3 1/4 by 4.5. Onto the black scalloped rectangle that is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. So I'm just going to line that up. There you have it. And now I'm going to add that to the front of my card base. And there you go. With some HEG tape. There you have it. It's got a nice pink border with the flowers, right? Kind of fun. And there you have it. And now I'm going to glue down these little gummy bears, right? I did not use the dies because I didn't want a border, so I cut right on the black line. So first I'll put down the big one. There you have it. And then I will stick down the small one. They're going to overlap a little bit. And like I said, this is super easy to do. The easiest paper piecing you'll ever do, right? There you go. Isn't that cute? And I will weight it down. Now on the inside, I'm going to add a piece of just cheapo white cardstock, 4 by 5 1/4 inches with my ATG tape. There we go. And I will stick that down in the center of my card base. It gives me somewhere to write, which I like. Then I'm going to add a 1-inch strip of black paper tray ink cardstock across the bottom of this card. There you have it. So I'm just going to slip that across the bottom, and I will cut off the overhang with a pair of scissors. So there you have it. Easy stuff. Then I'm going to add a little strip of paper from that floral graph. It's like 3/4 of an inch wide. I'm just going to stick that in the center. So it just adds a little something, something, right? And then I'm pulling out a sentiment from this stamp set, Love You Beary Much. So I stamped that onto Nina Solar white cardstock with First Fun Clear Nocturne ink, and I cut it out using the Love You Beary Much Outline dies. All my die cutting today was done with my Gemini machine. Now these are 2 little hearts from the Booth Valentine Add Ons, and I'm just going to add those to the inside of the card just for some decoration. Now on the outside, I'm going to stick down the sentiment, You're Beary Sweet, and that is from that same Beary Sweet stamp set and outline dies. I'm just going to pop that up in the upper right-hand corner. There you go. So this is going to be like an easy birthday card. And now I'm taking 3 of those hearts again that I cut out from the Booth Valentine Add Ons. That's what they're called. And I'm just going to add 3 hearts to the front of this card, which is kind of fun. And I'll be using my dimensionals from Stampin' Up! As per usual, and my reverse tweezers that I always use. There you go, and I will pop that in the lower left, and then I'm going to have 2 in the upper right. You know, visual triangle and all that jazz. So this is a very simple card, no coloring involved. Really, you just had to fussy cut out those 2 bears, which was really easy because, you know, it's pretty straight lines, like it's not too hard. And now I'm going to stick down my last pieces. There you have it. And then pop that down. And there you go. Now I'm pulling out my Nouveau Crystal drops in Ebony Black, and I'm going to add some to these bears. But first I'm going to pull out Altenews Enamel Dots, the Essential Black and White. And the smallest black ones fit the eyes of the largest bear perfectly. So I'm going to use that for that one. And then I will use the Ebony Black Nouveau Crystal drops for the small bear, just because, you know, I would have loved it if the enamel dots fit these eyes, but it just doesn't. So I just wanted to, you know, have some dimension for his eyes. There you have it. Just want to tap it so it flattens out. Now I'm pulling out my, there's little hearts from the Altenew Enamel Dots Essential Black and White. So I'm going to add a few of those little enamel hearts while I'm at it. Because like I said, this is a super easy card design, using my pen blade just to get them off that acetate sheet. There you have it. And I will add a couple down here. And there we go. Just one, I mean. There you go. And then I'm pulling out my black glaze pen from Sakura. And I'm just going to color in his little nose because it adds a little bit of dimension and shine, right? And it's super easy to do. There you have it. So it's nice and shiny. And I'm pulling out my Secura White Jelly Roll pen in a number 10, and I'm going to add a few little highlights to these bears and freckles. Why not, right? It's always fun. And aren't they sweet? Just so cute. And now I'm adding on a few little highlights. Excuse my yawn, my goodness. Oh. It's not even late here. So I'm just adding on, like I said, those few little highlights to the bears. And there you have it. Isn't that sweet? I just love them, and it's a perfect little birthday card. And so easy. You could do this with any color, right? So thank you so much for stopping by. Be sure to hop on over to the Jaded Blossom blog. Be inspired, the Jaded Blossom store, to get your hands on these amazing goodies. And as always, for watching my videos, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And hopefully we will see you soon in my next one. Bye, everyone.